Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. This week we're starting off with a little bit of fun going and picking up some of our new CU DPT merch that we ordered a while ago, some polos. So I'm actually going to pick up a few things for my friends as well. So I have my backpack with me just so that I can fit it all in. But I'll go and grab that and then I'll kind of map out what this week's going to look like. As I said in the last video, we're moving a little bit away from low back pain and moving into more of the hip region, as well as with neuromuscular conditions switching over from stroke to cerebral palsy and other conditions such as that. So I'm gonna head over and grab the clothes and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Today ended up being a bit more of a cleaning day since a deep clean of the apartment was definitely necessary, but everything looks really nice, so it feels good to have gotten that done and out of the way. And that means that tomorrow will be really open for working on lots of homework and getting ahead. So I know that one of the priorities will be getting my discussion post done for my interprofessional education class, where we're just doing a quick S-bar, which is essentially just a handoff between health professionals. So I'll make sure to get that done and possibly get a good chunk of the pre-work done for this week. Luckily, because of how the asynchronous time lines up, I'll actually have, I'm pretty sure, all of Wednesday and Friday completely free of in-person classes, which means I should have some really good time to start working on those note sheets and preparing for the exams that are coming up. So I think I'm going to get ready for bed after I finish a few more chores, and then tomorrow will be our productive day. So I'm going to get onto it and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. After getting in some studying earlier, we ended up going off and just having some fun at my girlfriend's sister's house, just playing some board games and ending the weekend on a high note. So tomorrow I have lab from 8 until noon, going back into our musculoskeletal conditions, where I believe at the end of it, we're going to be doing a skills check on all of our low back pain cases. So that will be interesting. Not exactly sure what it'll entail, but I'm going to make sure to take a look at the rubric in a second, so that way I have a better idea of what to look forward to tomorrow. Then in the afternoon, we have class yet again, a short break, and then I'm actually switching up my work schedule this week, where I'm moving into working Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays, rather than Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So it will be a bit of a change, but I want to make sure to get a good bit of rest, so I'm just going to take a look at the rubric, get things prepared for tomorrow, and head to bed. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We ended up having a great morning in lab where we were working on our musculoskeletal conditions overview of all of the low back pain type of interventions as well as modalities. So we worked through that. For my skill check, I had to do the thigh thrust for the sacroiliac joint, as well as for my intervention, I did grades 3 and 4 for our side lying manipulation. So it went really well overall. I did it right away with my partner, Amber, who you saw me doing a little bit of a lateral shift adjustment with earlier. But we ended up doing really well. Very happy with that. I got a little bit of critique, which I'll make sure to incorporate into my practice in the future. But now I have another lab today, which is for medical conditions, where we're going over our cardiovascular exam. So I'm going to head over to that, and then shortly after that, I'll be heading off to work for another 5 hours, where I'll hopefully be able to get a good bit of homework done. So I'll talk to you guys later. That's another day of classes done. This morning we did a bit more with cardiac rehabilitation and the different stages you go through in it throughout the continuum of care. So that was really useful information to have. In the afternoon we transitioned over to neuromuscular conditions, where we did more with our stroke and patients with cerebral palsy. Just making that transition, like I said, over to those conditions this week. Then after that, we are heading to work right now. I'm working a bit more this week than I expected, just because there was a little bit of a scheduling error. So I'm actually going to be working. I worked yesterday, I worked tonight, and then I'm also working Thursday and Friday night. So a bit busy on that front, but luckily, since the academic end is a bit lighter, since I don't have any classes at all tomorrow, it's a good opportunity for me to get a little bit more cash this week. But I'm going to head in there and hopefully get some good studying in. So I'll talk to you guys sometime tomorrow. Well, our morning's starting off a little bit different than usual. I'm over in the education buildings right now because my apartment complex is having some just tests of the fire alarms and things like that. So I wanted to protect the bunny's ears a little bit, so they're over here with me while I do a bit of studying for my medical conditions course, working through that review sheet. I'm a good ways through. There's still a little bit of information we haven't covered yet, so I'm still waiting on that. But today, since it's completely free, it's just going to be a little bit of working on homework, as well as hopefully getting some relaxation in. So I'll make sure to keep you guys updated, but I'll see you in a bit. Well, I was expecting to have this evening off, but one of my fellow workers ended up having an emergency, and I'm the closest one to campus, as well as probably one of the few people who are still available to fill the shift. So I guess I'm going to be working another extra 3 hours tonight, totaling for 22 hours by the end of this week. So it's an interesting week overall. Definitely going to have lots of money in the bank account at the end of this week, but I do still have 2 of my quizzes to finish for my interprofessional education class. So I guess I'm going to try and fit those in while I'm working tonight, because hopefully it should be not so busy right now, excuse me, and I should be able to get it done. So I'll give you guys an update once I'm finished with that, and hopefully I get them done. We managed to get everything finished that we planned to do last night during the extra work shift that we picked up last night. I even got to doing a little bit of work on my LinkedIn account, since I really haven't updated that too much, so maybe that will be something I work on here and there while I'm at work. But this morning we had our medical conditions class where we really started to go into more of the chart review, more of the patient screening questions and things like that. So it's some really good practice overall. But this afternoon, we're going to move back into our neuromuscular conditions, where we're really diving into our interventions with people who have cerebral palsy, and just kind of more on that end of the spectrum with neurological disorders. So I'm going to head over to that now. Then later I have work yet again from 5 until 10, where I'll probably work on maybe moving into creating flashcards for my medical conditions class, since my exam is coming up next week, I believe on Thursday. So that's at least the plan for now, and I'll give you guys an update if anything changes. Well, we made it to Friday. Just finishing up the last bit of things. I do have a quiz for medical conditions that I need to finish before I head to work tonight. So I'm just doing some quick errands to finish off some things I needed to do, like dropping off a package at the post office and then just going and grabbing a few groceries. So once I'm done with that, I'll head back and just get at the quiz and hopefully finish it with a good grade. That brings us to the end of another video. We managed to survive a 22-hour work week on top of our regular classes this week. Overall, it went pretty well. I ended off the week by doing that quiz for medical conditions, where I missed a couple that I really should have gotten. I just need to make sure to read the answers fully before choosing, which I think was the pitfall that I fell into this time. So that will be something to keep in mind for the future. But that's really all that we have for this week. Next week, we're continuing on with a lot of the same things in our courses, where we're sticking with the hip region, moving into some cases for MSK, musculoskeletal conditions, continuing with our cerebral palsy and stroke for neuromuscular conditions, continuing on finishing the content on the cardiovascular and pulmonary system in our medical conditions with an exam on Thursday. and then working more with some of the other health professionals in our interprofessional education course, which will actually be synchronous and in person this next week. So if you want to see some of that, please make sure to check out the video next week. That's really all that I have today, so if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe down below. This has been KBDPT. I'll see you all in the next video.